Hello, my name is Ambeg Parama Arta. I am a student from the German Department Faculty of Humanities of Universitas Indonesia. In this video, I would like to explain and present my paper that I've submitted to the International University Symposium on Humanities and Art 2021, or Inusharts for short. My paper, titled Depiction of Racism in the Graphic Novel A Bag of Marbles, is written by me and my partner, Miss Maria Regina Widhiasti. A Bag of Marbles is a novel written by Joseph Joffo, a Jewish survivor of World War II. He wrote the novel as a way to tell the world of his experience as a Jew in surviving the horrors that is World War II. A Bag of Marbles tells the true story of Joseph and his older brother Maurice as they fled Nazi-occupied Paris in search of a safe haven. The book is later adapted to the big screen with two movies, one released in the 1975 and the other in the 2017. A graphic novel adaptation is also published in 2013, and it will be the basis of this presentation and also the basis of my paper. Now that the background of this story is over, we've come to the introduction of this presentation. The graphic novel, A Bag of Marbles, will be the basis of this presentation, as I've said before, and with the help of Genette, a theory on narrative, I will discover the form of vocalization that will be used in this graphic novel. The various occurrences of racism that is experienced by Joseph, the main character of the story, and how he reacts to them, will also serve as the highlight of this paper. And finally, with the use of Friedrickson's and Bette's theory on racism, we can identify the types of racism that occurs in the story more easily. The problem and questions on this paper are: what form of vocalization is used to tell the narrative? What sort of racism occurs throughout the story? And how does the various acts of racism impact Joseph? And also, does Joseph character undergoes changes as the story progresses? The methods that is used in my paper can be seen here. The data that has been obtained through text and illustrations of the graphic novel itself will be used in and analyzed through Genette's theory of narrative vocalization. And we will also identify the types of racism through Friedrichs and Bette's theory. And after that, the collected data will be interpreted descriptively, as it has been done in my paper. And now we've come to the analysis section of this presentation. Curie explained that narratives are the product of agency. They are the means by which someone communicates a story to someone else. Narrative represents their stories and do so in a special characteristic of communication between agents. And Prince described narrative as a representation of multiple events, be it real and fictional. These two sentences here cannot be described as narrative, as they lacked a series of events that characterize them as narrative. Supper is ready and today is a good day is a simple sentence without a story. Charlie went to a local grocery store to buy some milk. There he was robbed and attacked by a robber with a knife. This sentence indicates a narrative, as there is an order of events. And one can see that this sentence tells a story. As such, it is a narrative. And through the use of illustration and text bubble, we can also conclude that a graphic novel constructs narrative by directly implanting images into the reader's mind. It serves its purpose, while novels use text to help us visualize the images of a scene or a events. As such, as long as a series of events can be conveyed accurately, either through text, oral, or images, it will count as a narrative. According to Mikonen, in comic storytelling, as in film, the point of view may always remain impersonal or ambiguous in terms of its possible subjectivity, but the image necessarily reveals a spatial point from which something, the vocalized, is perceived. As the narrative is always focused on Joseph, as seen on this image, it can be concluded that internal vocalization is used in this story. We can infer as such, as throughout the story, Joseph in a monologue or thoughts can be read as speech bubbles. His feelings are transparent to us reader. It confirms the notion of character and his narrator. This type of narration is undoubtedly internal vocalization. Now I will show various panels in which acts of racism are shown. The two panels here show that the acts of individual racism will occur under institutional racism. As the state, in this case the Nazi regime, continues to perpetrate its ideology, so will the majority slowly commit acts of racism. As seen here, as Joseph is beaten up by his schoolmates. Later on, the naive and hopeful Joseph trades his yellow star for a bag of marbles. The act of trading those items shows that Joseph does not want the label that is forced upon him by the Nazis, and he defies the institutional racism enforced by them. This characterization, as shown here, is still is showing Joseph on his infancy, or Joseph as he begins his journey. Later on, as the story progresses, Joseph continually suffers abuse at the hands of Nazis. He admits to himself that the Nazis have taken away his childhood innocence. And we can see in this panel here that at the end, Joseph is depressed and very down emotionally. Through this vocalization, we can see that his character develops a maturity that can be described as fatalistic, a mindset not fit for his age. And in conclusion, the story as the story focuses on Joseph's thoughts and experience, we can see that the deterioration of Joseph's mental well-being forced him to mature beyond his years, and that the narrative can be classified as internal vocalization, while the both institutional and individual racism occurs in this story. Thank you for watching. Take care.